Welcome back. All right, so a career video that may very well be overdue. I don't know. We're going to talk about Alex Delvecchio, huge Red Wings magnet. Why would I use it? Why would I use such a huge Red Wings magnet? Because he played for the Red Wings forever, and it's the only team he played for. So I don't need a whole bunch of little magnets. So kudos to Alex Delvecchio. Stays with the same team the whole time. What's interesting is he comes into the NHL in 50-51 for a one-game call-up. He ends up playing until 73-74 with one organization, and the Detroit Red Wings go from being one of the more respected, successful organizations in the NHL to not. And his post-playing career, he tried to help the Red Wings out. It doesn't work out that great, but let's go through his career first and we'll discuss it. So he just plays the one game in 50-51. He gets the call up from the Oshawa Generals, and when he goes back down, he continues to work on his game. He comes back up 51-52, plays 65 games, 15 goals, 22 assists, 37 points. In the playoffs, 8 games, he records 3 assists and wins a Stanley Cup ring. So as a rookie, he's got his first Cup ring. 52-53, plays all 70 games that year, 16 goals, 43 assists, which is second overall in the NHL. 59 points, which is fourth overall in the playoffs, 6 games, 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. He's a second team All-Star and appears in the All-Star game. This is at a time where the All-Star game is a little different. Your Stanley Cup champions go up against a team made up of the best players from the other teams in the league. That's how that was set up. 53-54, plays 69 games, 11 goals, 18 assists, 29 points. Really, really low point totals. But he's a good overall player, so it doesn't hurt his game overall. 12 games in the playoffs, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. Stanley Cup, yes. He also plays in the All-Star game. So again, his production's low, but he ends up in the All-Star game. 54-55, 70 games played, 17 goals, 31 assists, 48 points. In the playoffs, 11 games, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points. And Stanley Cup, yes. All-Star game also, yes. I do wonder, too, if they'd had the Selke Trophy back then, if he would have won a couple of those. Likelihood, probably. So, 55-56, 70 games played. He finishes 7th in goals with 25. He wasn't a big goal scorer in his career, though. The assists, he had 26 of those. His 51 points puts him 9th overall in the National Hockey League, showing how low scoring was at this point in time. In the playoffs, 10 games, 7 goals, 3 assists, 10 points, and an All-Star game appearance. 56-57, he only plays 48 games that year. He misses 22 games. I think it was an ankle injury or knee injury. He would only miss 14 games for the rest of his career, though, with injury. So, 16 goals, 25 assists, 41 points. Points per game wise, a much better season than the year before. 5 games in the playoffs, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. And once again, he plays in the All-Star game. 57-58, 70 games played, another 20-goal season with 21 goals. 38 assists, which puts him 6th in the NHL, 59 points. In the playoffs, he adds 1 assist in 4 games. He does play in the All-Star game that year as well. 58-59, 70 games played, just short of 20 goals. He ends up with 19. 35 assists, 54 points. He wins the Lady Byng Trophy. One thing with Delvecchio, very gentlemanly player. The Lady Byng trophies attest to that. He was a second-team All-Star as well. And he was one of the few at that point in time in history to be an All-Star at more than one position. He was I think, second-team All-Star at center the first time and a second-team left winger the other time, although I could have reversed that. I apologize. 59-60, he plays all 70 games again, 19 goals again, 28 assists, 47 points. In the playoffs, 6 games, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. He was 3rd in Lady Byng voting. Doesn't actually play in the All-Star game that year. 60-61, 70 games played, 27 goals, which is 9th overall, 35 assists, 62 points, which is 10th in the league that year. 11 games in the playoffs, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. He does go back to the All-Star game. Then we get to the 61-62 season, 70 games played, 26 goals is 8th overall, 43 assists is 5th overall, and 69 points is 6th overall. So, very strong scoring season for Delvecchio that year, and he plays in the All-Star game yet again. So we move to 62-63, and guess how many games he played? Right, all 70. 20 goals, 44 assists, which is 6th overall. His 64 points, 8th overall. And in the playoffs, 11 games, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points. He's 3rd in Lady Byng voting, and he goes to the All-Star game. So again, very gentlemanly player. So we get to 63-64. Again, it's all 70 games that he plays. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 7 years in a row he plays every game. 23 goals, 30 assists, 53 points. In the playoffs, he adds 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points in 14 games, and an all-star game appearance. We're into the era where Detroit can get to the final. They just can't win when they get there. So it's a frustrating time. I believe both Montreal and Toronto gave them setbacks in Stanley Cup finals during that era. 64, 65, 68 games played, 25 goals, which is 8th overall in the NHL. 42 assists, which is 4th overall, and his 67 points is 5th. So you can see scoring is still down, generally. That's going to pick up as sticks are going to be curved pretty quickly here. 7 games in the playoffs, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. He's second in Lady Byng and plays in the All-Star game again. 65-66, plays all 70 games. His 31 goals is 3rd overall in the NHL. That's as high as he ever got in the scoring chart for goals. 38 assists is 9th. His 69 points is 7th. In the playoffs, he has 11 assists in 12 games. He wins the Lady Byng Trophy for a second time. 66-67, so the final season before expansion, plays all 70 games again. 17 goals, 38 assists, which is 8th overall. 55 points, which is 10th overall, and he plays in the All-Star game. So you're looking at a career now that's about 16 years long, and he's been so remarkably consistent outside of the year with 29 points in 69 games. Very consistent scorer, very popular player with teammates, with fans, and with management. 67-68, plays 74 games as the schedule expands. And the league expands as well, right? 22 goals, 48 assists, which is 2nd overall, and his 70 points is 8th overall in the National Hockey League. Again, he's in his late 30s. He is still able to score at around a point per game. 68-69, he has his best offensive season in his career. 72 games, 25 goals, 58 assists, which is 4th overall, 83 points, which is 7th overall, and he wins another Lady Byng trophy. So that's 3 of those. 69-70, 73 games played, 21 goals, 47 assists, which is 7th overall in the NHL, 68 points. In the playoffs, his final playoff appearance, 4 games, 2 assists, is now Detroit's getting into the realm of not being very good. And as we go through the 70s, that would just get worse. 70-71, 77 games, 21 goals, 34 assists, 55 points. Very reliable, Alex Delvecchio. 72-73, 75 games, 20 goals, 45 assists, 65 points. 72-73, what would be his final full season in the NHL. He's still producing. He's 40 years of age. 77 games, 18 goals, 53 assists, 71 points. So did he retire because he couldn't play anymore? No. In 73-74, he plays 11 games, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. He retires to become the coach. And eventually, he's the general manager there as well. He's named general manager on May 21st of 1974. He would last until March 16th of 1977, when Detroit, who are in complete disarray at this point, fire him. This is an era where players are deciding we'd rather not get traded to Detroit, and it is a dark time for the Wings. No reason to blame Delvecchio for any of that, of course. He was named to the NHL's 100 Greatest Players list in 2017, ahead of the 2017-2018 season. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1977, the earliest he could be inducted, unless they waived that 3-year requirement, which they didn't for Delvecchio. He is 91 years of age. Present tense, 91 years of age. He is still alive. So in an era where all we hear about is who just recently passed away, he's 91 years old. He's the last surviving member of the 1952 and 1954 Stanley Cup champions, meaning that at 55 when they won, there's somebody who may still be around. But yeah, he's been around for a very long time, has Delvecchio. He was a member of the production line with Ted Lindsay and Gordie Howe. And then there was like a new production line that he had with Gordie Howe and Frank Mahovlich in the late 60s as well. So, yeah, it really is quite the career that Delvecchio had. It went on for a very long time. He plays 1,550 regular season games, which is 16th overall all time. 456 goals, which is 61st all time. And he was never a leading goal scorer, and there's plenty of seasons where he didn't even get to 20. It just shows his longevity. 825 assists, which is 28th overall. 1,281 points, which is 39th overall. And in the playoffs, he adds 121 games, 35 goals, 69 assists for 104 points. A great career, Hall of Famer, And now I've done a video on him. Alex Delvecchio. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.